Welcome back to another episode of Rewilding for Women. I'm your host, founder of Rewilding, Sabrina Lynn. There's a topic that I am dying to explore in this particular episode, and it's this topic of let him feel your hurt. I know. This could stir up a whole lot of stuff, could trigger a whole lot of stuff, could open up doors to a whole lot of stuff, and I'm absolutely honoring that, absolutely respecting that. And I am going to do the best that I can to try to find words in ways that hold this topic. And make it not about him as in he or man or even necessarily masculine in the forms that we might think of him or he or masculine as. So I'm really going to attempt to hopefully push us outside of day-to-day thinking, outside of just kind of the physical, mundane world, really move us into a space of what the heck is the gift in let him see your hurt, show him your hurt, show yourself your hurt, show the world your hurt, and why is that such a profound and powerful gift? Why is it so important now? Today, in 2020, this world that we're living in, why is it so important to honor our hurt, to know when we're hurt? A lot of times we don't even know when we're hurt. We have created so many protections and walls around not feeling hurt. We've tried almost our whole lives to avoid feeling hurt, to stay in happy place and ignore almost half the spectrum of information coming into our systems, of divine intelligence, of body wisdom speaking to us, of emotional intelligence speaking to us. It's that many of us have created nervous system patterns and pathways that suppress that ignore that, devalue that, or in some way are not as open to that as we are open to things like bliss and pleasure and joy and happiness. And I want to talk about the gift that's over here, the gift that's in the hurt, the gift that's in the pain, the gift that's in the rage, the sacred outrage. I want to talk about some of these deeper levels, and I want to hopefully be able to move us into a place where we can explore that in ourselves, where we can maybe expand our minds and look at this a little bit differently in our own worlds, in our own lives, in our own beings. And we'll just kind of see where this takes us. How do I want to start? First, I want to just start by inviting you to totally expand your mind. To just totally like rip it apart, like rip the whole thing apart. I mean, like literally, like imagine yourself ripping your mind apart. Like you're just ripping it apart. You're ripping apart old patterns. You're ripping apart old ways of thinking. You're ripping out old neurological pathways. You're just like, you're in there and you're just mucking it up. You're scrambling it. You're totally ripping it apart. And with the intention, not to screw up your mind, but with the intention to open, right? To move yourself beyond limited patterns, to move yourself beyond the mental limitations, the patterned limitations, the unconscious response to things. So breathing that for a moment, and then almost letting the mind like expand way out, like the consciousness that's held in your mind. It's often very narrowed limited thinking, limited, it's focused in on something, to just let it expand out. Like it's like your awareness explodes out of your head. Your focus explodes out. It expands out. You are suddenly now holding the awareness of the whole world in your consciousness, like in your mind, in your focus, in your presence. It's expanded, like it's just blown up outside of your head, just blown up. I mean, we're going for it in this podcast, apparently. Okay. So from this open, expansive space, of course, always taking what serves you, trusting what serves you, taking it into the fire of truth, honoring defenses, honoring protections, honoring reactions, owning them, because some of this might trigger you, it might set you off, but really that's from a place of knowing thyself. And so if emotions come up or you get fired up about something, heck yeah, that's part of the process of growth. That's part of the process of evolution and waking up. It's part of it. It's not comfortable. It's not always nice. It's not always pretty and neat and sweet and wonderful and all, unicorn farts and rainbows. It's oftentimes messy and confusing and brings up lots of things. And so really honoring that, but knowing that everything that gets stirred up when we're together is a doorway to know thyself, a doorway to know thyself. So if I start talking about masculine and you start to get pissed off, that's a doorway to know thyself. Like, great, what is this bringing up for me? If I start talking about feminine and you get pissed off, great. What is this showing me? Go into it. Go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. You can use these podcasts to really dive into self, to really get to know self. I mean, you're going to have to hold yourself to the fire and you're going to have to take yourself in there, because I'm not holding that kind of a space here. I'm just sort of giving you little tasters and little things to feel into. But opening up the space for that and inviting you to take this where you want to take it to take it where it most serves you. Now that I feel like we have our foundations set up, let's start with just a really quick overview of masculine and feminine energy. So it's getting up above man, woman, getting up above the sexes. It's getting up into a tantric exploration of masculine and feminine, an energetic standpoint. And this is a framework. So if you go into, if you move into yin and yang, it's very different. This is just a framework to help us talk about things, to help us access things, to help us open doors to our inner worlds. And so just bear with me. You don't have to buy into this. There's many, many, many ways. This is just a foundation that helps us to start to move into places and start to access deep places within. And so that foundation, what I'm going to invite us to feel into is the framework of feminine as Shakti, as life force itself, the flow of life itself, and masculine as presence, as consciousness itself. So in that little practice we did together before, if you were to put masculine and feminine to it, the masculine experience would have been expand yourself out into a place where you can hold everything. Right? That practice of expand out, get out of your narrow little focus and expand out. Bringing your awareness out, your consciousness out. That would be like a masculine energetic space. And then if you were to feel into a feminine, the ripping of the mind, right? The ripping of the neurological pathways that we did, that would be more of a feminine, like it's an embodied feel. It has to do with like spirit in form, right? So it's life force itself has taken form. And I was going in and I was mucking up the form. I was bringing energy to the form, bringing energy to the life, how life is expressing itself. And for us in that practice, it was life expressing itself as our brain, life expressing itself as our minds, life expressing itself as these neurological patterns, right? Can you feel that? So it's like masculine holding consciousness, feminine, like the dance of life, the form of life. It's like formless form. Does that make sense? Just feel some of this, you bring words to it and you're just like, what the? And so a lot of this is just a feel for things. So let deeper wisdom in you come to life in all of the things that we do. That's my aim in this whole season, this whole podcasting going forward is, I'm not that interested in talking to your left brain logical mind. I'm interested in going in deeper. I'm interested in talking to your body wisdom. I'm interested in like my Shakti talking to your Shakti. And so if some of this is like brain scrambling, open your heart, open up to like deeper body wisdom where it's almost a transmission coming through. It's almost like an energetic thing that might not make any sense. And to be okay with that, that's part of this. That's just part of what I'm here to do and how I'm here to be and what I'm here to gift and give and how these conversations are. So if we're feeling into those two things, and I promise I'm gonna make this tangible for us. I'm gonna bring this into real life. I need to take us up and out before I can make this tangible. And I'm gonna make it really tangible. Like why? Like I'm gonna go into the place of why you as a woman need to show your man your hurt. I'm going to go there. I promise you we're going to get there. Or why you, and I'm not saying as a woman, you as a feminine being need to show the masculine structures of the world your pain, your hurt, how we've been robbing the world of feminine intelligence, of feminine grace, of feminine wisdom. We have robbed ourselves of it. We've robbed our men of it, and we've robbed our world of it. And I want to get to that point, but I kind of need to just move us around a little bit so that we can access the deeper places within, and it's not just this logical thing that's going on. So when we start to feel into gifts of the feminine, remember feminine, we talked about this already, it's like the life force itself, the creation of life itself, how life is expressing itself. And now we start to feel into the gifts of the feminine. And we all know this. We all know this on a very like mundane physical world level, simple day-to-day life level. We all know this. There's oftentimes in a feminine being, there will be more emotion, a lot more emotion. There is much deeper feeling in feminine-based beings. So let's take out masculine, like man, woman. I want to obliterate that. I want to just blow that up. I want it gone. I want it totally gone. If it helps you to think in terms of woman, right? If you're a man and you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, women are incredibly emotional. I get it. I know what you're talking about. If that helps to have those parameters, good, use them. If I'm pissing you off with man, woman, either one, get off of the podcast because I'm not the person you should be listening to, or get over it, right? Like get over it. Move into different language around this. Don't let semantics get in your way of the deeper truths that lie here, of the gifts that lie in letting the world and yourself feel your fucking hurt. We need it. You need it. Denying your hurt is like denying your deepest wisdom. Denying your hurt is like denying your man or your woman your truth. You're denying them the capacity to see you in your truth. You're denying them the ability to know you on deeper levels. We are denying the world the capacity to understand that the feminine is screaming, is hurting, is being raped, is being pillaged, is being obliterated. We are denying masculine structures, holding, remember that holding, that witnessing, that consciousness, We are denying the masculine the capacity to see what's happening, to see, to feel, to know the truth about what's happening. Deny the feminine, in denying her hurt, her grief, her pain, her rage, in denying what's happening in her body as a result of an interaction with somebody, as a result of the animals being slaughtered, as a result of her child being taken away from her. The denial of any of that is the denial of its existence, is denying the world the truth. You're denying a whole part of it. This is so essential that we get this. It's so important that we understand this, and it's so hard to talk about. It is so easy. I am not going to be very popular saying this. This is possibly going to piss a lot of people off, and that's okay. It is so easy for us to blame the patriarchy for the state of the world. It's really fucking easy, right? I mean, you can overtly see, yes, it is very masculine, old boys clubs, patriarchy, power tripping, greed, need for money, power over, not power with. All of these like masculine traits we can see, and it's very easy to blame the state of our world on that. I'm not saying men in specific, right? I'm saying just this collective energy, right? If we just look at it from a very impersonal place, like let's get impersonal. Let's not take this personal. If you're a dude, don't take this personal. If you're a woman, don't take this. Let's get impersonal about it. Get out of your little self, get up high, and let's look at this from an impersonal place. So impersonally, it's very easy for us to see the masculine's role in creating the state of our world, which we have come to a place, whether it's true or not. I am not here to argue like the global crisis that we're in. I'm not here to argue whether or not we are in fact going through global warming. I have zero interest in getting involved in that sort of an argument. Frankly, I don't care. I care about the collective. That's just what I'm here for. I care about the collective. And I care about the fact that it's a pretty hot topic in the collective. I care about what it's triggering, what it's sparking, what it's awakening. And the feel is, holy shit, we need to save the planet. And if you want to argue with me about that, I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can just say to me that that's not in the news all the time. I don't know that you could really argue that that's not a pretty hot topic in our collective consciousness. You can argue whether it's true or not all day long. That I'm not interested in arguing. What I'm interested in is the collective feel of it. Right? What's hot topics? What are we talking about in politics? What are we all feeling? What are we all connected to? What are we all caring about? What are we all putting our collective focus on? And it happens to be really loudly on planet, on whatever we want to call it, global crisis, whatever, global warming, I don't care, but you can feel there is this whole shift that's been happening over a couple of years and years, and it's getting louder and louder and louder and louder. Politics is also seeming like it's something that we also can't ignore, like the amount of corruption, not that that's not always been there, but it's also coming up to the surface. So I don't necessarily know that we can argue about that. I don't know, again, I don't want to argue politics. It's not my thing. I don't care. What I care about is what's collectively rising to be looked at. And to me, politics is a pretty hot topic, right? Like we have a president who we're currently looking at impeaching. That's a pretty hot topic. And again, I don't know that we can necessarily argue about that. And I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to point out collective energies and what's arising from an impersonal place, right? So I'm getting there. I know this is a whole long buildup. I know. I promise you we will get there in the end. So there was a piece I missed that I need to go back to just so I can connect all of the dots. We talked about feminine energy, we talked about masculine energy, and we talked about it from a really high place of like Shiva and Shakti, of consciousness and life force itself, of the creation, the expression of life itself, life expressing itself, like Shakti. If you come down a level, right? So that's really high, kind of esoteric-y. You come down a level, like how does that start to express in more 3D physical world? Like how does that start to express in day-to-day life? We talked a little bit about this, feminine gifts. And so we're bringing the energy down. How does this express now in our day-to-day lives? So we talked a little bit about those feminine gifts and it being, there's an emotional, heightened emotion, heightened feeling. I feel it much deeper, or something influences me when I'm in my feminine or as a feminine-based being. It's very, it will hit me very differently than it will hit a masculine-based being. You know, it might just be like water off a duck's back for them, where I'll be like, oh my God, this has wiped me out for 2 days, right? It's so that was one little thing that we talked about. What we also need to talk about in this foundational setting up, so I can get to my whole point, the whole point of this whole conversation. I mean, the whole thing is kind of there's a whole lot happening throughout the whole thing, but to get to where we're trying to get to, masculine gifting is also direction. So part of the gifting of masculine, when we bring it down from Shiva, just straight out consciousness, we bring it down, and you can start to feel this in your own life when you're in your masculine, or there's someone who is in their masculine, and you can feel their gifting. It is direction. It is focus. It is one-pointed. I have a mission. I have a goal to accomplish, and I will stop at nothing to make that happen, right? Just think about your life. Think about masculine-based people in your life. Think about when you're in your masculine. It's oftentimes why masculine-based people are not good at multitasking. They're just not wired for it. It's not what they're wired for. They're wired to make the one most important thing, happen. And that's it. That's it. Right? Can you feel that? That's a gift. It's a really big gift, a gift to have alive in ourselves, whether we're man or woman, whatever sort of a body we're in. It's a gift to have in a partner. Right? It's a gift to have in our world, is this directional focus. Make it happen, right? They make it happen. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? So it's like, I'm just gonna give you an example really quick. This is such a silly, stupid example, but it's like, I'm in the car with my man and he wants to get from point A to point B, right? He is making that happen. And it's a gift to me because I don't have to worry about that. I can let that go, right? So I just get to be all flowy and happy over here and in my feminine, right? I'm just giving random examples of like the gifting of it, the gifting of how that feels. When that directional force is taken, when the action, like he's in action, he's making it happen. He's got the force behind him. I am like the energy that's fueling his driving, right? Like my love gives him, I know this sounds weird, gives him inspiration. It gives him, and now I'm getting way tantric-y, and trust me, not all car rides are like this. But like the happier I am, the more love filled, the more light that I am, the more Shakti I am expressing, the more, just like life force energy that's rolling through my body. And this does not have to be sexual, by the way. There's many, many, many forms of it, but it often feels sexual because it's life, it's creation, it's yummy, right? Like the more of that, I mean, like he is inspired, he is fueled, he's alive, he's driving the car, just like drinking in this bliss bomb of love energy and just aliveness that's next to him. Can you feel that? I'm giving totally random examples, but I think it's helping us to bring it down, So that's part of the gift of the masculine. Gift of the feminine. So feminine being gift. I already talked about the emotions. Gift of the feminine is this diffuse awareness. So we talked about masculine focused. Diffuse awareness. Our sensitivity is an extraordinary gift that we often think we are too sensitive and we need to shut it off. I'm sorry, we are so fucking wrong about that. I know, you might hate me for that too. Totally cool. I don't care. That's fine. Our sensitivity, the feminine sensitivity, is an extraordinary gift, one that we are shutting off, denying, or trying to fix because it's too much to handle, right? It hurts too much. It's too painful. I feel your stuff too much. I don't want to feel this much. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? That's shit. That's shit. Part of our gift, when we are good with our gift, when we've owned our gift, when it's heart aligned, when we're open to our gift, we're happy with it, we're happy to express it, part of our gift is being that sensitive to nuances, tiny little things in our environment from all around us, coming in all of the time from everywhere. It's insane. It is insane. It is an insane gift. It's an amazing gift. This is why witches and women and women's business is known for being oracles, right? Like the oracles. We're oracles. We can see the present. We can see the future. We can feel, right? I can feel that there's going to be a storm coming. I can feel that. I can feel that my baby, who is 50 miles back there with the babysitter, is suddenly getting sick. I can feel it. I have this connection to the whole of life, just in my innate wiring, in my feminine. My feminine gift is that I am connected to the whole of life, right? The whole of life, the whole of everything. The whole of everything is in my bones. And I am deeply connected to it. We all are, men, women alike. We all are deeply, animals, plants, the whole thing is really connected. We happen to be extraordinarily tapped into it, extraordinarily wired to feel it, to know it, to sense it. I sense the nuances. I can pick it up in a person, right? I watch you talk and I'm not listening to the words you're saying. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling that everything you're saying is a total lie. I'm feeling the amount of pain in your heart. I'm feeling that you want to cry, but you're not crying. You're holding it back and you're trying to talk with a brave face and a this and that. I can feel that. Now, my man, in his masculine, no fucking idea. No clue. No clue. No fucking clue. It is like a dense brick wall, right? It is a dense brick wall, and he doesn't give a shit, right? Because he's focused still on driving the goddamn car. He's driving the car. All that he can think about is getting to point B. That's it. Like, you feeling like you're gonna cry is not a thing. So now that we've talked about gifts, we've explored this, I think, enough to now kind of bring it around and get to the whole point of this whole thing, the grand finale, the culmination, all of these pillars that we've had to build, all of these definitions that we've had to give to get to this place of, if I'm not allowing myself to feel my hurt, if I'm not able to, one, know when I'm hurt in myself, If I'm not able to, one, it's know my hurt, honor my hurt, express my hurt is two, right? I need to know that I'm hurt. Two, I need to express it. If I can't express it, my man can't make good decisions, right? I'm picking up on the fact that the baby's getting sick, that his mother wants to cry, that I feel a fire. He's Australian, fires are hot topics right now. That I feel a fire at our point B, which is where we're driving to. I feel a fire has just erupted at our point B. And I'm, things are starting to hurt. Oh shit, like it's not really feeling good. Like it's not feeling good in my system. Like, oh fuck, like we were on this mission, we were on this path going this way, and suddenly this arose in the moment. This is another feminine gift, change all the time, fluid. We are so fluid. Everything changes constantly. And that's our capacity, is we can flow. We're like water. We just flow around things. We move, we shift. You can't hold this in your hand. We just flow right through the damn thing, right? And so I can move and shift, and it's like, yep, we're on our way to point B, and suddenly I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling my body is starting to collapse. It's starting to get tight. I'm starting to feel hurt in my body, right? My sensitivity is fully switched on, and I'm okay to feel the hurt in my body. I'm okay with it. It's a beautiful fucking thing. It's a gift. I love it. I don't want to switch it off. I want to be this alive. I want to know that there's a fire over there. I want to know that my baby's sick, and I want to know that my partner's mom is crying. I want to know that. Let me have all of this information. Let me feel all of this information. It's feminine wisdom. It's our wisdom. It's our gift to the world. We see the unseen. We feel the unseen. We feel into realms that the mind can't fucking comprehend. We know in our bones. We know, but we deny it. We deny ourselves of it, we deny our man or our partner of it, and we deny this world of it. We deny it. We don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel hurt. I don't want to feel my body contracting. I don't want to know that there's a fire up at point B. I don't want to disappoint my man. I don't want him to feel hurt, because that's going to hurt me. I don't want to tell him, hey babe, I am not feeling good about this. I know we had a mission and we had a plan to get to point B, but I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. Something does not feel good about point B. I'm feeling like our baby is not having a good time at home, and I'm feeling like something happened with your mom. And this does not feel good for me. This does not feel good for me. Do you see? I'm giving him all of the information. I'm like a barometer. We are these wild instruments. We are these wild instruments of feeling and seeing and knowing way more than we give ourselves credit for, way more than we want to open to, way more than we're willing to accept, right? But when I can do all of this, right, and I can show him my hurt, I can express my hurt through his denseness. So let's also be totally honest about this. Through his denseness, I can get his attention enough out of his focus to point B. I can get through the denseness and go, okay, here's how this feels. And oftentimes we have to fully embody it, right? To be able to express it in a way that they get it, in a way that the masculine gets it. They're dense. They're not in a dumb way. They're solid, they're rigid. They get locked in on something, and that's it, right? And so the more that we can share, the more, like, you know, like you let yourself start crying, right? Like you let the tears start coming, like you show him. So something else that I want to back out of. I know I've been talking so much about man-woman relationship. This has nothing to fucking do with that. It really doesn't. For sure, that's one expression of this. But it has nothing to do with that. It was just a tangible example for me to be able to talk about this. What about your feminine and your own masculine? How often are you able to express the knowings that you have, the unseen world, the feels that you've got, the intuitions you've got, the emotions, the hurt, the pain? How well are you expressing that to your own masculine in your own life, making your own decisions, driving your own car from point A to point B, right? This is about that inner relationship, the inner relationship, the inner relationship. Where is that at? Where is that at? Where are you with your own intuitive nature, with your own emotional nature, with your own feminine sensitivities, with your own feminine wisdom? How online is that? How honored is it? How revered is it? How trusted is it? How much do you trust that part of you? How much? How much? How much do you deny it? How much do you suppress it? How much do you not want to feel that much? How much do you only want to feel the good, the happy, the joy? Wonderful. I love the line that Joseph Campbell says, right? To like soul work, your destiny. How do you find your destiny? Follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. Yes, and feel your hurt. Let your hurt come in. Let your pain come in. It is just as important as your bliss. It is just as wise as your bliss. And you have to let both talk. Both are talking, right? The bliss is like, yes, that feels good. Yes, that's opening me up. The hurt comes in and it's like, oh, not gonna go to point B anymore. It is just as valid, just as important, and just as wise. And we need it switched on. You need to be able to feel your own hurt. You need to know when someone hurts you. We talk about these boundaries being crossed all the time. I have watery boundaries. I have no boundaries, right? I just take it on, take it on, take it on. This is part of it. It's because you haven't developed capacity or ability or acceptance even of feeling how much it fucking hurts when someone crosses a boundary, when someone does something. We've switched it off. We've shut it off. We've denied it. We don't want to hurt. I don't want to, for some weird reason, we've all decided that we should be happy 100% of the time. That is not human existence. That's not full living. That's fucked up. That's half living. That's living a half fucking life. That's denying half of your feminine capacities. Half, and I don't care if you're a man, you've got feminine capacities. If you can't feel your hurt, dude, I'm sorry. Like, you are gonna jack shit up. If you can't feel your emotions, you are gonna make bad decisions. You will make bad decisions. If we can't feel our hurt, show our hurt, we will create from shitty places. We will not create from the fullness of ourselves, from a full open heart, from the deepest truth that we can get to, the deepest truth that we can get to. With regards to the world, so with regards to showing our hurt to the world, and I'm gonna bring this back around to all the way from the beginning what I started with, right? I started with this, it's very easy to blame the patriarchy. It's very easy to blame men. We are in this political climate we're in this global crisis we're in because of men, because of the patriarchy, because of what they've created, because of what they've done. This part sucks. It sucks. It sucked for me when I had to own this in myself. It sucks. It sucks. Part of the reason that all of this has gotten to where it's at is because we didn't show how horrible it is. We didn't show that it hurts us. We didn't show how painful it is. I'm not showing my man how much it hurts to go to point B, that it breaks my fucking heart to go to point B, that it shuts my womb down to go to point B. I didn't show him that. I didn't show him. I didn't tell him that this is shutting me down. This is closing me off. This makes me feel dead to go to point B. I didn't tell the men drilling in the earth that this feels like you're sucking the life out of my veins. I didn't tell them that. I didn't show them that. I didn't tell them that robbing the waters, polluting the waters, makes me feel like I can't fucking breathe. I didn't tell them that all of this pollution makes me feel like I can't fucking breathe. I didn't say that. I didn't express it. I didn't show you my hurt. I didn't show you my pain. I went along with it. I went along with it. I did not show you how bad this hurts me. I didn't show you that this rips my heart apart to watch women and children being treated the way that they're being treated in some places in this world. I didn't show you that. I didn't show you that. I didn't show you that your power tripping ways break me. They break my whole fucking body it obliterates me. It obliterates me. It makes me feel awful. It makes me want to cry every fucking day. Every time I feel into something like that, I want to cry. I didn't show you that. I didn't tell you that. I didn't show you the pain. I didn't show myself the pain. I didn't show the world the pain. I didn't show anyone the pain. I didn't show anyone the pain. And that's my responsibility. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me for not being open. That's on me. That was my part to play. That was me shutting down. That was me suppressing things. That was me repressing things. That was me. That was me. That was on me. That was on me. Yeah. I think that's it for today. Super grateful for this space, super grateful for our community, super grateful for all of you who've hung in here through this wild ride that I feel like we just went on together. So grateful for your shares of the podcast, your comments, the way that you support, how you support, just all of it. Just really grateful for all of it. And I will see you when I see you, how I see you, and where I see you. So much love.